In 27 seconds.
Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and it's time for me to actually get some writing done. Now that I have muted myself on my screen, where I'm making sure that the stream is coming through smoothly with no errors, like a professional. How are you? Thank you for joining me, Doc.
I'm doing okay. Um, I've been productive already today because I was lazy yesterday. So now I have to see if I can keep it going.
Yeah.
Although apparently the demons of Blue Sky are fighting me.
Oh dear, that's a little fraught.
Yeah.
So my neighbors have been really kind
Oh.
in that they sorry, 2 seconds. Okay. In that they reached out with a note regarding the circumstances of my current backyard fence.
Ah.
I
Yeah.
would like to perhaps share a little something with you. You
A little
all.
photographic evidence. No.
So, yeah. So my backyard there was a storm yesterday.
Mhm.
Let's start at the beginning, and it did not go well for my back fence.
Yeah, there's kind of been a storm every night this week. So.
Yeah. Where's? Oh, I'm looking at the Chrome tab. That's why I can't figure it out. Okay, there we go. So that's my backyard fence, and that's the first half of the tree that landed from my neighbor's yard in my backyard. So excitement. Lots of excitement there.
Yeah. So the fence is actually yours?
It's shared. It's a communal
Okay.
fence. So, and because it's their tree, they have contacted their insurance. And
Right.
yeah. So after this stream, I will be calling them and sorting out anything left remaining on my side to do.
Yeah.
I hope their insurance takes care of the tree removal, but if not, I have a friend who has chainsaw and chainmail. What are the leg things to protect you?
Mm-hmm. Well, and you've got the fireplace, so you could always stock up on some firewood for winter, right?
Yeah. So, what are you working on today?
I really should be starting on a new short story for an anthology, but I haven't done any prep for it this past week, so I'm going to be continuing editing Kindred of Kali.
Okay. Chaps. That's what my friend has. Chainmail chaps.
Chainmail chaps. Not leather chaps, but chainmail chaps.
For use with chainmail or chainsaws.
Chainsaws.
So safety first, second, and no, first is getting the job done. Because if we wanted to play safe, we just would never go anywhere or do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Andy. Andy is here and says hello. And he says it's rough. Yeah, but some people lost houses, cars, and worse. His wife's flight to Chicago was canceled and rebooked because of Friday. Yeah. It's a lot. I know my dad was without power. He's on the other side of the beltway from me. And okay. I'm not sure if it's back yet.
I feel pretty lucky then, as we had a couple light flickers, brownout type things, and only once did we actually have something that was deep enough to cause the internet to drop. So
Raven is here and I think says hello, but I don't know how to say that word, so I'm gonna Google it and have Google tell me it means hello. So as long as we're trying to say hello in multiple languages. Yeah. So, yeah, exciting evening. And I feel really bad because during the storm, I was out to dinner and my cat was home alone. And that tree came down, and I'm sure he was scared, and I wasn't here to comfort him. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Andy says his friend Chris is a power pole topple in his neighborhood, 24 hours to get it repaired. Yeah. And this heat, ish.
Yeah, the heat has been kind of ridiculous.
Better today than yesterday, but only because of the storm in question.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like exactly why we've been having a storm every night this week, because the heat's gotten so bad.
Yeah.
It's caused the storms to cool things off again.
For people who may have skipped that part of science class, the hotter it is, the more moisture the air can hold. And so that's why we usually get thunderstorms in the evenings, because it's less hot and therefore the air can no longer hold as much as it has been. Right. And the tension is there and it's like, rah.
Yep. And having the rainfall actually cools things down again. So
if the rainfall comes late enough in the evening, if it's a 6 or 7 p.m. storm, good. If it's a 4 p.m. storm, it cools off for about 30 minutes and then gets hotter, and the moisture that has just fallen turns into steam. So we are now at 110% humidity.
Yeah.
And that's when my theory of if you strain the air through your teeth, your mouth is less humid and less hot than the outside, and the moisture will condense on your teeth. So you will inhale less humid air.
How are those experiments working for you?
I've mostly been going inside where the air conditioning is. Yeah. But I did go to a steam show yesterday. There's some pictures on my Insta. Not steampunk, the original steam, where they pull hidden miss engines and, old chassis and whatever out of the back of the barn and drag it down for the steam show and then sit out in this steaming hot sun for a weekend.
So you're now wrinkle free because you've been to the steam show.
Probably. So anyway, Andy asked an excellent question, or, went ahead with the next question of the day, which is, as for work, he is working on a short story and is hoping to get it in good shape and already has 790 words down for today because overachiever, making the rest of us look unproductive. But this is a judgment-free zone. If you're here to eat snacks and hang out and do nothing, we are on your side. I think we might be on your side, even if you don't want a snack. We'll just be confused.
I say we'll definitely be on your side if you want to share snacks with us. But
so, what are you working on today?
I mentioned that at the beginning of the show.
You did.
Yes. So everybody else in the audience, is your turn.
Okay. Well, for me, I am still working on my space fantasy. I am technically 34 pages from the end, but I need to go back and have her receive a message from family earlier. And I need to write a new scene to have not a trial, but maybe like a pre-trial adjudication sort of thing.
I feel like the past couple of weeks you've been in one of these vortexes where, like, last week you were 30 pages from the end and now you're 34 pages from the end. And it's
no,
it's not that you've gone backwards. It's that the story's gotten longer.
A, the story's gotten longer, and B, these scenes needed rewriting.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it wrong. I was making it, they run across the enemy and take them hostage and turn them into the authorities and everything goes smoothly. No. So fixing that.
No, that's the television ending where you only got 2 minutes before your runtime.
Yeah, pretty much. So Sarah is not working. Did get a new city builder game with beavers, so she's got a beeve.
So Sarah's going to work on the damn thing.
I was watching videos this morning of actually beavers, of like rescue beavers building dams in like their foster mom's house at like the doorways with stuffed animals and blankets.
That sounds freaking hilarious.
It's adorable. Uh, uh, sorry. Whew. That was very cute. Okay,
Also,
where were
also,
we?
Rescue Beavers sounds like the name of a new Disney series, but
Disney series or rated Twitter series?
yes, but that depends on which channel you're finding it on.
You
No.
see what I did? You
Yes,
see
I
what I
did.
did there? Whew. Okay. But this isn't that type of show.
No,
Uh,
that's why I went with Disney.
right. So Raven says he's got a premise percolating in his head. It's a period piece, though he doesn't know if he's going for noir or gaslight, of a paranormal investigation team known as the Crane and the Corby. Wait, what's a Corby? Is it a type of bird?
Corby's a raven. Raven crow.
Oh, okay,
The
gotcha.
corvids.
Yes, that makes sense.
I believe that's
So,
correct. Correct me if I'm
yeah.
wrong, Raven, because you'll know.
Google has confirmed. Or, yeah. So Raven says that he hopes he's not accidentally cribbing from somebody else's work, but a quick Google search didn't come up with anything. And Sarah says she is indeed working on the damn thing.
Well, I hope you have a damn good time.
And I also went out to my blackberry bush and got another small little harvest. I already ate a couple, but I was saving them for stream snacks. So Raven says Doc is in fact correct. It was in fact Corbid related. And Andy says the Crane and the Corby sounds so 30s Black Mask era pulp. So good luck. That's awesome. Well, what do you say we get started?
I say that would be an excellent idea right after I finish refilling my glass.
Ooh, okay.
Because I'm pouring right now, that's not going to be much of a delay.
Right. So, okay. There we go. We've got a timer. We've got snacks. And we've got some projects to work on. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Boots and pants, boots and pants.
And we're back. So, how was your sprint?
I think it went pretty well. I don't think I got very far in terms of words, but it was kind of a case of I had a scene where I had two characters in conflict while something else was happening, and I was focusing on the something else, and they kind of just went quiet. And it's like, okay, that I guess you're right. That doesn't really work. So I ended up uh, um, adding a bunch of additional argument on top of the action I already had. Um, so it's
His lordship is rarely silent.
yeah, no, his lordship is frequently silent. The professor is frequently talking, and when the professor starts arguing with something, then you've got problems.
Oh dear. Hopefully, nothing's about to explode
No, not yet. No,
yet.
yeah, not yet.
So,
Eventually,
I decided that I didn't need to add a new scene. I just needed to add a single line or two at the end of the previous chapter to set up. But I'm really struggling to figure out where the scene I'm adding really fits in and how much the third point of view character needs to do. Am I bringing all three storylines together in this new scene? Because we have our main character and her cousin, and the main character and the alien ship captain, and she's with one or the other. But this might bring all three storylines together rather than two at a time, you know? So
that would be cool.
Yeah, it's just really tricky, and I'm not. I have the shadow of the shape of it in my head, but not the reality of it. So I'm still trying to. So I went back a chapter or two, and I'm smoothing it out, and I'm working my way into it. So. Popping into the comments, talking about Raven's The Crane and the Corby story that he's working on. Raven was thinking about The Crow, specifically the comic book franchise that took off after the original story, and felt that resurgence of anger that in the subsequent movies they made, the filmmakers did not continue with the tradition of making each bearer of the Crow's gift have unique face print.
Face
to
paint.
reflect face paint, to reflect their personality and background. For Raven, his favorite The Crow story outside of the original comic was called Flesh and Blood and had a female protagonist, and her face paint actually looked like an actual crow in flight. I finally finished watching The Crow a couple of years ago, but the first time I tried to watch it, I was home, and my mom caught me watching it and was like, they used the actor's death to market it, and she, for obvious reasons, found that very offensive, and so made me stop watching. So,
but the actor did the story because they wanted people to watch it.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't not watch it because they died.
I finished watching it years later, but you know, her house, her rules.
Yeah.
So, and I respect that, you know, conviction, but it's not one I shared. So, Andy got through another 490 words and agrees that the protagonist of Flesh and Blood was actually of Crow descent. Amazing story. Awesome. So Raven and Andy are like, ooh, Crow. And I'm like, smiling, nod. I know a little bit, but not near enough.
They've got this whole gothic, dark gothic thing between themselves.
Right. So let's see. Hello, Ginny Noble swung by. Thank you for coming. I know it's been an absolutely horrible week for you, but I'm sending all my hugs. And I'm glad to see you.
And thank you for remembering the like button.
Right. So, what was your snack of the sprint?
Um, we have restocked on the Chex Mix
Nice.
turtle, and I've actually zhuzhed it up by adding some additional M&Ms. So
Zhuzh.
yes,
Go
little
you.
M&M zhuzh. My chocolate levels were getting low apparently. So,
Oh no. That's
yeah.
tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Fortunately, there was something we could do. So.
Indeed. I finished my blackberry
Mm.
harvest. So I think I might be maybe some, what do you think? Cookies or chips?
Let's see. You've already had sweet with the berries.
Okay.
So maybe some chips might be in order. What kind of chips have you got?
I have the baked variety pack of individual servings.
Mm.
So I have the baked Cheetos, the baked regular Lay's, or I think it's Lay's. Maybe it's Frito. Unclear. The sour cream and cheddar, the popcorn white cheddar, and the barbecue.
Some good choices there.
I know. That's why I got the selection. And I am horrible at portion control with both snacks and books. So I make them automatic, portion controlled.
Obviously, the container is a single serving. So
It is. These are like the little snack bags. I'm like, I might not be a kid at school packing school lunches, but clearly I eat dinosaur chicken nuggets for lunch and, with a bowl of mixed veggies and a yogurt and pretzel rods. So, I mean, I try to keep it balanced even while eating convenience kid
Mhm.
food. So, popping into the comments, Jenny is working on making some homemade spaghetti sauce. Ooh, I've been thinking about making spaghetti soon, but
That sounds
I think
tasty.
yeah, I think I need to pause my Hello Fresh if I do that because of how many meals it gives me versus how many meals I cook.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Raven said he had actually forgotten
Forgotten
that,
about her being actually of Crow descent.
right,
Yep.
has the comic somewhere in the house, but hasn't read it in a while. So, Raven says that he can't remember the name of this particular The Crow story, but remembers one in which he's pretty sure the protagonist was made explicitly known um, to be of indigenous descent. So, okay. Well, what do you say about another sprint?
Another sprint would probably be good. I need to get ice. So.
I mean, the
Just
chips are right there.
yep.
So, oh my gosh. Raven is bringing the mood down. Um, the indigenous crow story, his family, he and his family were murdered by Confederate soldiers and ended up coming back later to wipe out their lineage in the modern age.
Okay.
So that's dark and cheery, but only
It
cheery.
is the Crow. Come on.
Uh,
All,
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Cherry, as in the color of their blood, not
okay.
cheery. So, okay, let's go ahead and sprint and eat snacks. So, we're gonna head and get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Ooh, latkes. And we're back. And this time with a Sako. How was your spread? Hello? Okay, everybody's finishing stuff up. Well, I finished the chapter. It that leads into the new scene I'm going to have to write, and I found a much better way to end this scene, and so now I know where I'm picking up. So that's definitely a good step forward for me. Hopping into the comments.
I'm sorry, can you hear the TV thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay muted.
That's fun. So, okay. If Doc wants to tell us how he's doing, or should I pop through the chat real quick?
So, no, I'm still digging on further through things. I've now carried things out into the garden and causing chaos there, and trying to sort it out. But yeah, I'm finding some of my scenes always have multiple things happening at the same time, and it definitely gets confusing to some readers, and it's an exercise in trying to juggle it so that it makes sense and still gives you the impression of all these things are happening in parallel. So
yeah, that was my impression of juggling.
Without stressing out the reader.
Yeah.
No, without stressing out the reader too much.
I have done this. I have done this to my detriment. So
There are times when you want the reader to be a little bit stressed out because that gets them excited in the story, but you don't want it to go on for too
long. So we had a newcomer. Hello, Mike Zhao. Swung by and is a little confused because we were being silenced. It's because we were doing a productivity sprint. We're doing like the Pomodoro technique where we are productive and or snack for 20 minutes. And then we come back and tell everybody how much we got done while we were gone.
Yep. It's absolutely scintillating video while we're working, but hey, we're working.
Exactly. So, okay, popping into the comment, Raven said, sorry for bringing the mood down, but it's hot and sunny, so he's dragging out some shadows for us all to bask in. So, and Raven noted the crow story he was talking about, specifically because he believed it was one of the first after the Eric and Shelley story, and it was made explicit that he was wearing indigenous war paint. And Andy's like, you're right, I confused flesh and blood with dead time. And Raven's like, I literally managed to remember the name Dead Time while I stepped away for a bio break. So, and then, of course, Wild Raven entered.
Wild Sako enters the...
Sako, that one, yes. Raven said that.
And Raven spots her, yes.
Right. And Shiro Fi also was confused by the silence. So...
Hope you stuck around to find out.
I hope so. Raven said that we are a horrible influence. We have infected him with munchies, and now oh no, he ate his last ice cream sandwich. We're like snack zombies.
Snacks. No.
So popping down a little further, Jenny got 200 words done, finished making the pasta sauce, and is ready to make that pasta dinner. Awesome. Andy, as usual, got 417 words done. He needs to rewrite the opening a bit before he gets into that one last scene for the day. And Sako, after joining us, continued her Vela project after getting unstuck. Woo! And got 250 words. Go, Sako.
So
that was a happy dance.
Was it you that was stuck or the Vela project?
Well, the project was stuck. I had written myself into a corner, and picking up the scene again was particularly difficult, but I hopped that hurdle as soon as I sat down.
Nice.
And I bought some ice to go into the portable air conditioner because our
Is it
normal
helping?
conditioner- It is helping.
Okay.
I now the house is comfortable to me, but poor Greg, the polar bear, is not.
No.
And the cats are not handling
All
it
the
very
iced
well.
beverages.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, speaking of snacks, I just wanted to let people know that I did decide on the baked cheddar and sour cream chips.
Good
and
choice.
then I was still snacky, hungry, so I had a cranberry cashew almond trail mix. Although I have not zhuzhed it up, but I am a little sad there are no M&Ms in mine. Doc was zhuzhing his up with M&Ms.
Costco is your friend. They have big jugs of M&Ms to give you an ample supply for whenever you need extra M&Ms.
Yeah. My problem is I don't go through things fast enough, except for things I shouldn't go through that fast, to buy at Costco.
Well, that's why you concentrate on things that have really long shelf lives.
Yeah, you do that, but I don't care what the shelf life is on M&Ms, especially if it was like almond M&Ms, or peanut M&Ms, they would be gone because I have no self-control when it comes to snacks or books.
Okay.
When it comes to yard work, I have tons of self-control.
Look, behold my incredible restraint. Watch how I am not going out to do yard work. Yes.
I did at least 4 minutes of yard work today.
So did I, actually.
I took pictures of the downed tree on my fence so I can send that to insurance. And I took out 2 nails and put in 2 deck screws into my gate because the end board was swinging and catching the gate so it wouldn't open. So I put in some screws and got rid of the old nails that were stopping it from going in all the way.
No. I went and took loppers and attacked the tree that's trying to grow up between the house and the heat pump.
Oh, are they standard loppers? Or are they the cool geared ones that means you can like lop something up to 2 inches? I'm sorry, I like lopping bushes. I have a problem. Oh,
I guess you could say that they're geared, but
I mean, yes, but no, I like mine better.
you're allowed. They're yours.
Okay, popping back into the comments, Raven said, "Whoa, my ice cream sandwich also has M&Ms, mint M&Ms." Ginny is a caramel M&M fan. Nice choice there.
Okay.
I and Sako are both Reese's fans. Ginny agrees, even though Ginny hates peanut butter but loves Reese's.
It's the chocolate that makes the difference.
It is. Oh, Sako says she's usually indifferent about peanut butter. I have made Reese's peanut butter fudge before, but when I did, I actually did half Reese's, half chocolate chips to make it more on the chocolatier side. Because the chips are more peanut butter than it just worked better for the fudge. Stand by it. Sit by it. I'm sitting. But yeah. So anyway, what do we say about doing another sprint? I think I know where I'm going with this. Maybe?
I believe we might have time for one more.
Ooh. Okay. So let's... Oh, yeah. Sako's in for the sprint. Technical term. So, okay. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Chaka laka 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 laka. Laka. Latkes
Latkes?
with sour cream.
Mmm.
And we're back. So, how was your sprint? I know Sako is trying to focus with a very loud TV show, doing much better than I would. I can't focus when anything else is going on. I'm way too distractible.
So I've specifically trained myself to deal with those kind of background irritations so that I can write anywhere.
I can write, but I can't edit. I can write in a car. I can write at a con. I can write at work. I can write at home. I can write to music. I need silence and large chunks of time to edit.
So
how was your sprint?
I think I did pretty good. I finished the scene I was working on and moved on to the next scene, which turned out not to be a different scene.
What? Yes.
It's one of those things that I tend to write till I hit a good place to do a cliffhanger, and then I end the scene so that when I chapterize the book, it's one of the places I can end a chapter. And it just turned out, it's not at the end of a chapter here, so I had a scene break I didn't need, so I had to remove it.
Nice. So. I started moving forward. I switched point of view characters. I'm rereading a scene that already exists, just doing my basic edits, and I got it tweaked so it works, I think, a lot better for all the characters. And I'm moving forward. I stopped jumping back and trying to smooth it out, but I still have to add a scene. But I have 29 pages to go, and I started with 34 today, so definite some progress. Not sad.
Yep.
So I think things are coming together because that's the part of the story I'm in. It's very exciting, but I've never written 3 points of views where it's not just a single parallel romance, or telling the same story from 2 different points of view where they alternate, It's a lot more complicated than I'm used to, but I think I was ready to handle it, but we'll see.
Cool.
Popping into the comments, let's see. Sako says she is skilled and can shut out the TV in her head. So Ginny got another 300 words. Nice. Is working on a random project, just trying to keep herself distracted. Understood. Ginny can write and edit anywhere. Usually has sound on like music or a show for background noise. I can't do background noise, unfortunately. I'm weird. Andy got editing in and another 200 words and is off to dinner. I hope it's delicious. So, and Jenny also loves telling stories from multiple points of view. Mm-hmm. So, awesome.
I've not had the chance to do that. Having set myself into a series that involves everything told from a single narrator.
Yeah, I get it.
I just need to do some stuff in some different series. That's all.
I know you're looking forward to it. Sako says they're learning how to do 3 point of views in this Bella serial. So that's exciting. Yep. Awesome.
Sako, are you publishing them as you're writing them, or? Okay. Glad to see that.
Sako says, no way for those who missed the chat.
Yeah.
So.
No, because I remember back in the early days of podcasting, I knew some guys who were writing an episode at a time and recording it and putting it up. And like in the later book, they would find like, oh crap, what have I got myself into? In terms of, I needed to have put this clue back there, or wait, this contradicts something else. What am I going to do with it?
Sure. Yeah. Sako says they want to have 20 in the can before they post.
Yep.
Which sounds perfectly reasonable for me. I mean, my podcast will be eternal. So for those who don't know, I'm taking my YouTube writing tips and writerly musings episodes and turning them into podcasts on about a 2-year delay, because that's how long it took me to get into podcasting after I started YouTubing. Wait, 3-year delay? 3-year delay. So
do I hear 4? I might have been 4-year delay.
No. I started in July of 2017 with the YouTube, and I started in August of 2020 with the podcast. So it makes it easy to not run out of episodes. Although I think I do need to nudge my audio engineer.
Well, provided I was going to say, provided that you don't take a hiatus or end up with with episodes that have basically expired in those 2 years, so they're no longer good advice.
There are a few that are not long lasting, and I try to either get them out immediately or skip them. But with 3 years of backups, it can
it takes a while to run through the stuff that's not evergreen.
Yeah. Oh, Sako offered to help with the sound conversion. It literally takes him 5 minutes when he gets around to it. It's just plugging the intro music on and making the volume balance. And I might have asked him to do something about the outro. I don't remember. To make it consistent rather than the one I have for the YouTube. So
gotcha.
But yeah, I just need to nudge him, and he's usually pretty good about following up, because he just usually does them in batches, and I only prepped so many for this quarter, because I've been trying to get this edit done by the end of May of 2020. Wait, what year is it? 23. So I'm only negative 3 months until
you've only missed it by a little bit, right? No.
Right? Hey, you're one to talk.
Yes, I know.
So
no, I keep having these grandiose dreams where it's like, if I work at this schedule, I'll get it done. And it's like, oh wait, I have to send it out to an editor. Oh wait, the editor will have freaking comments.
Yeah. Sako's like, damn deadlines. Yep. And I mean, this one is entirely self-imposed. I am not going to be querying it in August of all months, because I hear that agencies are right-sizing right now. That's a term for laying people off. They are shuffling, and also a lot of people take August off in the publishing industry, and everything grinds to a halt. So a lot of them close for submissions, and with the churn right now, I was just going to wait for September and pretend I'm going back to school, but I'm going to have those queries and the synopsis and everything ready in the can when it's time.
See, that really sounds like the publishing executives take vacations in August, and they figure, why have people on staff if they're going to take vacations? So they just fire them and then hire them back again in September.
I mean, it could just be that's when they do their annual reviews and they see who has been making contracts and who hasn't, or what their budget looks like. When is the end of the fiscal year?
That depends on when the company sets it.
Yeah. So,
but I can, given some of the other shenanigans going on in the entertainment industry, I can definitely see that some executive somewhere is going to say, well, we're not producing anything while I'm on vacation because I have to have final say on anything.
Right. And there's also the whole,
just fire everybody.
Yeah. So I'm just also, I know that there are some ripples from the AI stuff and from the SAG and the Screenwriters Guild, all of the current boycotts and strikes. There's the word. So yeah.
So federal government end of the fiscal year is
Sako.
September.
Yeah.
And then there's that period in September and October where the new fiscal year has started. Congress is dragging its feet on passing a budget. So people are scrambling around trying to figure out what they can do until the money actually either arrives or runs out.
And people outside of the DC metro area believe that not funding the government is a great way to save money, when instead it just pushes back deadlines by 3 months. You have to pay your workers, and all the contractors and small businesses, like the places those workers go to lunch, the people who dry clean their clothes, the Ubers, the taxis, all of those people lose money and go out of business. And it's horrible for the economy, but nobody cares because DC is blamed for all the politicians the rest of the country sends our way.
Yeah. And the irony is, of course, that the politicians who aren't passing the budget are mandatory funding, so they get paid no matter what they do.
Yup. So,
but that discussion is a different podcast. It's not this one.
National
We're not
Park.
going to go any.
Yeah. I have a friend who's a park ranger, and you know what happened? Well, was a park ranger. And when the government shuts down, that means the bathrooms don't get restocked, the trash doesn't get cleaned up, and all that stuff just piles up. So they have to close them because nobody's. And you're like, how can you close nature? Well, things need maintaining or they go to shit pretty quick. So anyway, rant over. Right. Jam on the nose. Okay. So while I was writing, I actually pulled out one of my tools. My ex-brother-in-law gave this to me a couple of years ago. It's my flip dictionary. It's where you look up the definition and not the word. And for some stuff, it's got things related to that term, like a whole list of like horse terminology and that sort of thing. So I was trying to find the word exonerate.
Okay.
Because they presented the evidence and we're hoping it will exonerate us. Because I didn't want to use the phrase to be proven innocent. It just seemed clunky. I will be exonerated.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people out there who don't realize that in order to be exonerated, somebody actually has to prove something, as opposed to people just deciding, evidence has been presented, but we're not going to do anything about it. So,
yeah, except because they have this person that the government is keeping an eye on, the other government can't hide this one under the carpet. Because this is a person people will miss because of political reasons.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right.
So,
looks like Julie is heading out.
Marco's accusing me of my word fetish for finding the right word. Exonerate, I thought, was a very common word.
Exonerate's an excellent word.
And Jenny says, thank you for the sprints and distractions. I hope your spaghetti is delicious, and I wish I could share it with you. So, yeah.
All right.
I may have spent too much time hanging out with lawyers. That could, in fact, be the problem here. Because I thought that was a commonplace word that I just couldn't find in my head for a while.
I think it's a perfectly good word. So,
thank you. I might leave it in. I might take it out. We'll see. But I mean, they're also aliens, so it's the translation anyway. Actually, nobody in my story actually speaks English. We have the human trader language, and we have the alien language. And in the alien chapters, the human trader tongue is italicized, and in alien chapter or human chapters, the
alien tongue is italicized.
Yeah. Cool. Which I thought was a good way to be like, hey, we can understand each other's tongues, but we're really bad at speaking it. Yeah. So we're just going to speak in opposite languages at each other.
That works.
I mean, they're aliens. There's only so much you can do. Although in court, I decided that the person would have like a translator thing that he would speak into. Because you want to make sure everybody knows what they're agreeing to.
But it's not tax court, right?
It's in fact not tax court.
Excellent.
Ha! Raven thinks it's a perfectly crumulent word.
Exactly.
Oh, I think Sako doesn't know crumulent. Adequate or acceptable, typically in a humorous fashion. The example is, the continental breakfast was perfectly cromulent.
Made popular by The Simpsons. Or pushed back into popularity by The Simpsons.
Oh, wait. Maybe. What? I'm checking Edom online.
Dun, dun, dun. Breaking news from the world of language. It's not. And what does Edom Online have to say about cromulent?
That it's not actually a word.
Shock, disbelief.
It's only a Simpsons word. I didn't even think I watched enough Simpsons to know that. Apparently it's gotten... I have dated many people who enjoy The Simpsons, though, so that may have been how it wiggled its way into my vocabulary. So, anyway, I think it's time to head out. I'm going to take a little stretch break, little whatever, and then see if I can get my next scene written this evening. So, Sako, can you go off mute long enough to tell us who you are and where to find you?
You can Google me at Sako or Sako Tumi. These names. All of my social media will pop up. I'm really easy to find.
Okay, thank you. Doc?
And I'm Doc Coleman. If you're interested in finding out more about me or my writing, you can go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk. And you can find, doing that, you'll find my website at doccoleman.com. You'll also find my Amazon author page where you can look at samples of my writing that have been published and decide if it's right for you or someone you love.
I think maybe it's time for Doc to get a link tree so he can say, go to linktree/Doc Coleman and you can find all of my links there. Actually,
that is one of the things that I'm considering, because seeing as Twitter has gone and given that Elon Musk has shown us that he has the same knowledge of branding that he has of space travel, social media, and electric vehicles, which is to say zero. And as he's gone and and he's gone and renamed
for that.
Yeah, like I said, he has the same amount of expertise in all of those fields. And he's gone and renamed Twitter to X. It seems like it is time for me to exit Twitter and just leave my account there with a link to a link tree. So if I can get this Blue Sky invite to work, I'm going to see about setting up the link tree next. But
sure, sounds good. And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I have one short story out there with Dark Recesses Press, but you can find all my stuff at morganhazelwood.com, including you can find my published works. And I also blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips from the pros, and my own writerly musings every week on Thursdays. You can find it on my YouTube and my blog. This week, I was sharing why agents stop reading, because while I was at Imaginarium, I was on a slush fest, and I listened as the agents were telling us why they would stop reading each individual piece. So I tried to remember everything I could and put that into the post for y'all. And I also wrote a poem about the challenges of querying and knowing when to publish. You can find it on my TikTok or on my YouTube channel. It's called Skill, Persistence, and Some GD Luck. And this week's episode of my podcast, Writing Tips and Writerly Musings, you can find anywhere you get your podcasts. I was talking novel, novella, or short story, trying to decide what you got in your pocket based on the size of your idea. So, Raven says, a certain someone can afford to hire all the best experts not to listen to. Sako says, yay, that my why agents stop reading episode was good advice for all authors, not just traditional, because it's why people stop reading your first page. Even if it's aimed at publishers, it a lot of times also holds true for all readers. So thank you. Hi, Greg. We're saying goodbye, but I'm super glad to see you as always. Have a great week wherever you are, and I'll be back again next week. So catch you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.